It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast, episode 204 to be exact, episode 204. Happy Thursday to you. Hope everybody's having a great and tremendous week. Make sure you what I want to say. You like, click, and subscribe.
Spit it out, man. Spit it out.
Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also share the channel. Also, in the sound of my voice on the podcast side, make sure you give us that 5-star review, 5-star review, and make sure you also leave us that awesome remark, man. Remember, as D-Dub always said, love us or hate us, make sure you get at us, man. Hey, we got a really great episode tonight, man. We're going to talk some hockey with Dan. Dan is with us. Ryan will be with us shortly, talking some NBA basketball. We'll talk some college basketball. We'll talk about some NFL shuffling. Mike McCarthy will be back, it looks like. They gave him a vote of confidence, and he'll be back with the Cowboys, man. So we'll talk about that. We'll get into that, man. We'll also talk about some other things that's going on in the worldwide of sports. But before that, and we have our segment, Hit or Miss. This should be interesting today, man. They might cuss me out after this one, boy. I tell you, boy. Hey, with that said, let's meet the crew. Going from left to right on my screen and on yours too. Let's meet the DA. DA, good afternoon. Good evening, I should say. How are you, sir?
We good, man. We here.
No doubt. Appreciate that, brother. That's the DA. Dan, what's up, brother? How are you? Dan really wanted to get at us on Monday. He has so much to say, but he'll have something to say tonight. Dan, what's up, bro? How are you?
What's good, people? It's good to be back. Let's get into this. Let's go.
Gotcha. And we got D-Dub. D-Dub, what hat you got on, man? I can't see it, bro.
You can't see it. That's the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens hat.
Oh, it came in the mail today. Okay, you got your Baltimore Ravens hat in. Hat on today.
Okay. Yeah. That's the Browns. The Browns.
I'm glad I didn't get that one. So, but
shout out to all those that's watching on the YouTube side, and we was trying to get Instagram going here a little bit. I'll try to get it going here a little bit, but shout out to all those that's watching on the YouTube side, Twitter, Facebook. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Make sure you like and click, subscribe to the channel. We got our NBA insider. He got his Rockets gear on. Ryan DeSouza, NBA insider. Ryan, welcome, man. Welcome back, bro.
What's up, fellas? It's not a good night after last night. We went to the garden. We went to the garden and laid an egg. We competed in the first half, but
yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah. As you can see, Ryan, I wrote this especially for you, sir. There you go.
I know. I'm still gonna rep the H-Town, though. You know what I'm saying? So,
no doubt.
Y'all tried, but
yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, we got a lot to get into tonight, man. Shout out to my super producer, JR, man. He's holding it down behind the scenes, make it do what it do. And hey, we're gonna get into some hockey tonight. We got, like I said, we got my main man, Dan, the hockey dude, Dan K, the hockey dude. He's gonna say it when it goes to the world of hockey. Dan, take it away, bro.
Well, it's been a few weeks, and my oh my, how things have changed in the world of the NHL. It was kind of funny, I was scrolling around looking, TSN, Sporting News, CBS, and looking at power rankings and, looking at the standings and what's going on, with these teams. And who would have thunk that we're going to talk about the Winnipeg Jets being the best team in the NHL right now? Like, quietly under the radar, way up there in Canada, just doing their thing. They're 9-1 in their last 10. And Connor Hellebuyck, he's been a great goalie for them for years. It just seemed like they couldn't put it together. But this year, they seem to find the, what they need to get over the hump. Right now, they're 29, 10, and 4 for 62 points, tied with Vancouver at the top of the West. So we got Vancouver at number 2. They were 7-2-1 the past 10. Like I said, they're tied with the Jets, top of the West. Then we got the Florida Panthers at number 3. They were 7-1-2 in their last 10. Granted, they're behind Boston and they're behind the Rangers in the standings, but the way they've been playing and the way those other 2 teams have been playing, they've been playing a little bit better.
Dan, before I stop you, are the Jets going to make some kind of moves before the deadline, you think?
I don't know. It's not like a major market, but it's still a Canadian market. I think that they could possibly pick up a player or 2 here. It might not be a huge impact player, Patrick Kane, or, somebody that's way up on the stardom. But they'll probably get a couple guys that fit needs or roles that they're missing. Power play guy, or penalty kill guy, somebody that can play the third line, stop the opposing team's best players.
Makes sense.
Somewhere in that range. I think they'll make some moves. It might not be blockbuster type stuff, but they will get better at the trade deadline here, and that's probably what, beginning of March.
Yeah.
And then 4th on my list, I got the Boston Bruins. They went 6-1-3, and they're probably one of the 4 good games that I think are going on today. They're playing Colorado and Boston. They're up 3-1 right now. And the Avs have been hot too. They were, they're 8-2 in their last 10. So that
should be good.
That game's going to tighten up, I think. Here,
I hope.
It's only the first period, but we'll see what happens. And number 5,
and 3 in the first period that's a lot of goals.
Shit happens. And anybody will tell you, a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey.
Right. This is true.
So there is time. But number 5, I will say this is the ringer on the list, and I had to move them way up just because the way they're playing. And been talking, a whole bunch of noise about how they need to get it together, get to the playoffs. Right now they're sitting in the 7th position in the West, and they've won 11 straight. McDavid's been on a 1.8 points a game tear.
Dude's hot.
He's in fuego.
Flaming.
In fuego. But
yes,
they're the number 5 team, the Edmonton Oilers. And like I said, and what's really wild about this, because every time you think about Edmonton, you think about Draisaitl and you think McDavid. But they picked up a guy from Toronto, I think 2 years ago, and Zach Hyman. And this dude is absolutely on fire this year. He's on pace for 50 goals. And of course, he's one of the ones that got snubbed for the All-Star game, but we'll get into that at a later date. But like I said, 6 is the Avalanche, and then Rangers. Sorry, boys. Your guys been struggling of late.
Oh, yeah. We've been.
It's been awful the last, what? They're 4-5?
And 1.
4-5-10? 4-5-1 in the last 10.
Yeah, they're struggling a bit, and that's one of the other games that. So, you got Boston and the Avalanche playing right now. Later on tonight, you got Toronto and Calgary playing in Calgary, and then you got Seattle and Edmonton playing in Edmonton, and then you got the Rangers playing Vegas.
Vegas tonight, yep.
In Vegas.
10 o'clock.
So that'd be the 4 top games, I think, of the evening.
Not a good game when you're struggling.
Well, the good news for the Rangers, they get to play the Vegas Knights. They're 4-6-0 in their last 10. So this is
they hit a patch too.
Well, here's the thing too.
Yeah.
They played a shit ton of hockey last year. They won the Stanley Cup, and they played a lot more games than your Rangers did. But eventually, when you get to that point where you make the even in football right now, these teams, you look at what the Eagles did. They played the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl, bounced in the first round. And it's kind of the same thing. The more games you play, the next year you come back, it's really hard. Like what Tampa Bay did win 3 in a row is amazing. Just because of how much they played, how much wear and tear that is on them. and to be able to keep that level of play up for that long is amazing.
Damn,
But we'll see what happens with the Rangers in Vegas tonight. That should be a good one.
That's a very interesting game.
That's very interesting. Let me just interject this too, Dan. You got the Predators, you got the Oilers, the Kraken, the Flames, the Blues. They're all within 5 points of one another. What's your thoughts about? How can I say this? Could two teams come to be the wild card out of the West? Your thoughts being that everybody.
Well, there's gonna be two out of the West. It depends on what division.
Well, I worded that wrong. Which division?
Well, I'll put it. Point in front. Calgary's 7-3-0 in their last 10. Seattle's 8-2-0. They lost to the Penguins on the road, and they lost to your Rangers on the road the other day. They were on an 8-game winning streak. So those teams are hot.
Right.
Where Arizona has been shit in the bed. They're 4-5-1. Yeah. St. Louis is 5-4-1. So is Nashville. LA is 1-5-4. They've kind of hit a brick wall. I'm not sure kind of what their deal is, but they've been struggling as of late. But the only thing that they got going for them, they only played 41 games. They're halfway through their season. And a lot of teams in front of them have played 44, 43, 45 games. So they got, 3 to 4 games in hand on everybody in front of them. So they can get it right. That's the crazy thing about Edmonton. Like I was on, just like Toronto, I was on their ass. Their goaltending sucked. Their defense sucked. But they figured it out. They're on an 11-game winning streak. But not only that, they've only played 40 games.
40 games, yeah.
So they've got like 4 to 5 games in hand on these teams. And if they continue playing like they do, the only problem is the top 3 teams in this division in the West, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Colorado, they're also playing really well. But they could bounce themselves all the way up to 4th in the West and get that home series. So it'll be interesting to see like how this transpires. I think 2 weeks from now, next 2 weeks, Friday starts the All-Star weekend.
And where?
Oh, hey, imagine that. Toronto.
And we want to place.
Yeah, that's why I got 2 weeks to work on this. So we'll see who gets injured, who sits out, and who gets named. But Toronto's already got 4 people going to this thing because it's in their house. Which, whatever. We'll get into that. But then after the Rangers, I got Dallas at 8, Carolina at 9. Like I said, Seattle, they've been on a streak. They're at 10. The Flyers, amazingly, they're at number 11. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10, but they've been playing really well with what they got. They're way above expectations. And I think Briere, Jonesy, and Torts have got this team with the right mindset. And I don't know, I know you read the notes last time, but one of the huge things that happened last week was Cutter Gauthier, their draft pick.
Yes, we talked about that last week. Yes,
and like I was telling you, he straight up told them, "Don't talk to me, don't talk to my agent. I'm done with you. I'm not coming there." And what?
Don't talk to me.
What I kind of read up and researched was Briere, the GM. He was new. He wasn't there that long. They drafted this dude, and they're like, "Hey, look, we can't guarantee you a spot on the roster. You're going to have to earn it. And if you don't earn it, then we're going to put you down to Lehigh Valley, the Phantoms, and you're going to have to play there in the AHL." And, this kid's used to getting the red carpet. Whatever team he plays on, he gets, a spot. He's playing top forward minutes, blah, blah, blah. And I just think he was like, "Hey, I'm not guaranteed a spot. I'm not playing there." So they had the World Juniors here a couple weeks ago, and the USA, the under-18 team, won, and he was part of that. They sent John LeClaire, and who was the other one? They sent 2 of the most respected Philadelphia Flyers in recent years to go talk to this kid, and he refused to talk to him. And then there was a bunch of shit that they said that Kevin Hayes, that used to play there, told this kid not to play there. So he was getting death threats and everything else. Like this was a huge ordeal last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And he came out with a statement like, I'm not going to get in why I didn't go there, but Kevin Hayes had nothing to do with it, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if anybody saw the interview that they did with Tortorella. I think it was after a practice or something. He goes, is the reporter here that reported that about Kevin Hayes today? And the guy said, yeah, I'm right here. And he just fucking laid into him. He's like, what are you doing? And that's why I love Torts. Like, he's an asshole as a coach, but he absolutely does care about his players.
Hey.
And he has their back. He's old school, but he's genuine. That's what I love about him. But with all that said, so they made the trade. They brought, with Anaheim, they brought Jamie Drysdale in, and they did the awesome thing. Like, they were going to play him. I think he practiced, I think, once or twice. They were having him in a game. So they flew his parents and everything and his family in so they could watch the game from the suite. And they took care of him that way. And, it's a win-win. They got somebody that never won the play there, out of the organization, and they brought somebody in that really does want to be there. So that being said, Phillies is way above expectation of probably even their own organization. But I think they're playing really well. But I'm not going to really go further than that because I got Vegas at 12, and then you've got a myriad of teams that are within like 3 points of each other on both sides, West and Eastern Division that could be in the playoffs. Like the Penguins are at 48 points. Toronto's at 50. Same games played. These last probably 3 positions in each division are going to be settled probably way later in the season because all these teams are so close together because we have the stupid tie rule and the shootout and all that other stupid bullshit where if they just do what the women's league's doing 3-2-1 and 0, it'd be way better. But it is what it is. But I would like to shout out. So recently, Marc-Andre Fleury, that used to play for the Penguins, has 3 cups there. He passed Patrick Waugh for the most wins as a goalie in the NHL with 552.
Wow, that was a long time, man. Patrick Waugh been gone from the game for a minute.
Yes, but he's not even the GOAT. Some of you watch hockey. One of you should be able to tell me who's got the most wins.
And
you giving us multiple choice?
Yeah, man.
Eastern.
I need multiple choice.
I will give you the conference.
Wait a minute.
Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference. It's got to be the Devils.
Martin Brodeur.
There you go. There you go.
I should have known that.
691 wins.
Marty was he was a beast, man.
He was a bad boy.
Yeah.
You couldn't beat that dude.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. Fleury's number 2. He's 140 games behind this dude. And you figure if he wins 25 games a year, right?
Yeah.
He's still 6 seasons away from breaking that. And that record might not get broken.
Right.
Ever. It's just that's insane that this dude won almost 700 games in the NHL. And then, we gotta get on the get on my drum, start pounding away for my Toronto Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs.
So in news, they went out and they signed their player William Nylander for 8 years, $92 million, 11.5 cap hit per year. So let's put this in perspective. Their goaltending has been ass.
Yes.
Their defense has been ass. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10.
Yeah.
They've lost the last 4.
Yeah.
So
points.
They're mid at best.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So next year, this is not even including this year. Next year, the projected cap for the NHL is $87.7 million.
Wow. Yeah.
Austin Matthews, $13.25 million. Tavares, last year, his contract, $11 million.
Right.
Mitch Marner, $10.9 million. And then you add in Nylander's 11.5. That's $53.25 million between 4 players. And they've only got $34.45 million left. So on an NHL roster, you have 22 players on the bench at all times. So you have to field 2 goalies, 6 defensemen, and 4 forward lines. So that'd be 12 more. So they've got to get, what is it? That's 4 guys. They need 18 more at 30, and they got to fit them in under 34 million.
They're all going to be 10 years old.
So we'll just throw the 5th player in there, Morgan Riley, the defenseman. He makes 7.5. So that would get us to the 53 million. So you need to get 17 more players on your team. And that's where I say somebody's got to go.
They will be 10 years old.
You can't you can't pay 5 guys 53 million out of an $87 million cap and expect to be good. Yeah.
What they say, mathematics, man. Mathematics.
Yeah, you can outscore some teams. But at the end of the day, when you start playing the good teams that play defense, you're not going to beat those teams because, you may score 4 goals in a game, but you're going to give up 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. The math ain't mathing for real.
And that's, we talk about that in every sport, man. If you got especially sports like hockey where it's what we call a hard salary cap where you really can't move past it. Dude, like, what are you doing? It's, you don't have that baseball thing where you can add this and add that, even though you have a cap. You can,
you can pay a tax over the cap in baseball. Yeah. So, the cap is, $200 million, but you can spend like the Dodgers, $400 million and just pay the luxury tax.
And they're deferring money in baseball now.
Yeah, I never even heard of crazy.
Stop it.
I never even heard that. Deferred money now.
Hey, Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't played for the Mets in 20 years. He's still getting paid.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about him. Yeah, you're right.
So, this is like basically
was that
point of the season.
Bobby Bonilla, what year was that? 90 what? 92?
Nah, he played Pirates in that, I think.
I'm loco, homeboy. Don't play with me.
Yeah, I think 91, 92, any events like we're all still
crazy.
Yo, I'm crazy. I'm loco.
You'll be surprised how many players defer a lot of money. We just don't hear about it.
Allen Iverson did. People didn't know that.
Yeah, because Shotani is only getting $2 million a year.
Yeah.
Over the life of that contract, everything is back ended.
Which I think is so smart.
Yeah, because if you can't live off $2 million,
exactly.
Shit, we're doing it off of 50,000. Kiss my ass for $2 million.
But the reality is, and I think it's a cultural thing, and we talked about this. I'm not going to go any further. It's a cultural thing, and where he's from, you don't waste money. You take what you need to spend, to buy what you need to buy and live the way you want to live. That's it. Period. I don't need a bunch of cars and this, that, and the third. So
it's a different culture, a different want.
Yes.
But I will say, Bedard, he took that hit
a
couple of weeks ago in the face, broken jaw, had surgery. He's already back on the ice skating. He's got the fishbowl on. It wouldn't surprise me in like another week or 2 that he's back in games wearing the protective headpiece.
That was definitely a crucial hit that he took. And like I said, when I saw him,
I don't think it's dirty. I don't think that's dirty at all.
No. When I say crucial, I mean it was a big hit. I don't think it was a dirty hit.
He's not a big guy.
Yeah,
and he had his head down, and the dudes, stood up to him, and boom, it just so happened his face hit his shoulder.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But I hope that he's well enough because he's one of the guys I want to see in the beginning of February at the All-Star game at the Skills Challenge.
Absolutely.
because some of these guys are just ridiculous of what they can do. And this kid, he got a big future. And I don't mind them if they want to sit him and not play him in games until 6 weeks out of the 8 before they know that he's good to go. Because you don't want to damage your franchise player to the point where he can't play anymore.
Right. And they're not going to win anyway this year. So
yeah.
Dan, anything else before we get out of here with hockey here?
I got a question for Dan.
Okay, go ahead for the question, then I'll get the other stuff in a minute.
This current roster for the Tampa Bay Lightning, is it over as far as being contenders with this current roster?
I will say this: as long as you have Vasilevsky in goal in his prime, they have a chance. But they're one of the teams, like right now, they're -3 in goals. They're the last playoff spot in the East. They played 2 more games than Pittsburgh, Washington, and New Jersey that are on their heels for that spot. Up front, forward-wise, maybe. But that dude, when Vasilevsky's on, he can steal you games.
Yeah.
I mean, he is one of your better goaltenders in all of hockey. So that's the other thing is, okay, what's the GM do come trade deadline? Can he make or tweak a couple things, to fill that void? Like Kucherov's leading the league in points. He's got like 76 points, I think. I mean, he's on pace for 140.
Wow.
And the only other player that's done that in recent memory is McDavid. So,
yeah,
as long as they still got him, and they shipped out or let Killorn sign in Anaheim. That was a 4-year deal, I think it was, that he got from Anaheim. So they've lost some good, some of their star players. You still got Stamkos, you still got Hedman, you still got Vasilevsky, you still got Kucherov. If they can get their ass in the playoffs, you don't want to play them. They know how to. They know how to win. They've won 3 cups in a row in recent memory. That's a team to be dealt with. So,
hey Dan, I got real quick. Hey, I know you ran through the power. Was it power 10? Power 20?
It was 12.
12.
Just so I could leave Toronto.
Yeah. Are we still saying the Boston Bruins? I know the record's 26-8. Are we still saying they're the number 1 team and to make it all the way? And they got the real last year. Should they be the team to make it all the way? No, still okay.
No, they've got injuries and they've got holes they need to fill. Hell, I saw on Spit and Chicklets that they're talking about Bergeron coming back.
Wow.
And I was like, really? I mean, that would make a huge difference. The guy's great at defensive hockey. He's great on the face-off circle. He's winning 65% of his face-offs. That's huge in hockey. Getting possession is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But where they're at right now, like I said, they're 6-1-3 in their last 10.
Right.
They're holding on to that number 1 spot. But what happened last year when they played Florida?
Correct.
Right.
They got a hungry team, physical team, and they couldn't deal with that. And they got railroaded.
I mean, not for nothing. Florida's still, nipping at the heels. I mean.
Oh, Florida's getting better.
Yes.
Yeah. As the year goes on, they're getting better.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Like, we need to look at, when we get around, say, 55 games, 60 games, we're going to have a better idea who's it and who's not.
Got it. Okay.
Because teams are going to get, they're going to make that push. Like, we were dog shit all year at the beginning. And now, we're plus 16 in goals. We're 3rd in the league giving up goals. We've only given up 112, 113, or whatever it is. So if we can make a tweak or two where we can get a player in that can help us on the power play or whatever and score, we're going to win more games. And I see that, we should be able to get in the back end of the playoffs here. But the last thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if anybody watches Letterkenny or Shoresy that's on Hulu, but Shoresy's the hockey, basically like comedy that's on there.
It's a good satire show. Yes, kind of like reminds you of Major Leagues, the Major
Yes.
Leagues and stuff like that. Yes.
But it's Shorzy. If you haven't watched it, please do. It is absolutely hilarious if you love hockey. Give your balls a tug, tit fucker. It's awesome. But one of the guys, like several of the people that are on this show. So they have the three gyms: Jim, and Jim. One of the gyms is, I think Ted Nolan used to play for the LA Kings, and another one is Terry Ryan. He got drafted, I think, 8th overall from Montreal,
Right.
but he hasn't been in the league in years. But he signed on his birthday, he signed a contract, and he played in the ECHL for the Newfound Growlers. He actually got to play a game, and if you can look it up on YouTube or whatever, but he talked about being able to have his daughter, like he was 10 years removed from the league, so his daughter never got to see him play or remember him playing. So now she's a teenager, her friends, family, and all that are at the rink, and he gets to play in this game. And they had highlights of the game, and it's hilarious because if you ever watched Shorzy, it's like you got to set the tone. You got to be the guy to set the tone. And he came out at 47, got in a scrap. Got to play one more game in the ECHL as a pro. So his kid could see. And if you see him interviewing, talking about, you could see him blowing up. It was just an awesome interview and an awesome thing to see. And that's one of my favorite shows. It's only a couple seasons deep, but if you get a chance, check it out.
It's in the second season. I watched the first season. It's like I said, it's very satire. It's very funny. You like shows like Major League. What's another sports funny show? I can't think of it right now.
It'd be like the replacements for football.
Okay,
replacements for football. Yes, something like that. Very good. Very funny, but very realistic
funny
too.
As hell.
Yeah. He's Dan K with hockey. Thank you, Dan. Dan always bringing the know-how and all the facts when it comes to hockey. Appreciate you, bro. Next up, hey, we're going to talk a little NBA with our NBA insider and contributor. We got Ryan DeSouza. He's rocking his Houston Rockets H-Town attire. Ryan, before you get into what you want to get into, I got just a question for you. The winners and losers of the Toronto and Pacers trades, if we want to start off with that.
Well, whenever you're trading draft capital and draft picks, you're never gonna know who's the winner and who's the loser. As far as right now, the winner are the Pacers. With getting Siakam. That was a good all-star caliber player for them to help Halliburton. Also, he also plays great, good defense down low. He's crafty. He's a veteran. He's a champion. So I would say right now I'll give the edge, to the Pacers winning the trade. But whenever you get first round draft picks, man, you don't know what that can turn into or what you can flip for that. So it's all about getting assets, man. If you're not close to winning, you always want to get the assets because you can either draft a up and coming player in the draft, get lucky in the draft lottery, or you can flip those assets and get another key player, whether it's an all-star, whether it's a superstar who wants out, so you always got to position yourself with assets. Right. And I give kudos to you guys' team, the Knicks, for doing that. They're competing. I don't think they're a contender, and as far as a championship, but they're competing. But they're competing as well as stacking assets. So they still have a slew of draft picks. But like I said, but like I said, it's a good deal for Indiana because they think they're close. Right. And Siakam relatively still young, as far as still being in his prime. So you add that to what they have already. You didn't have to give up really any of the key pieces. They give up Brown, who was coming from, but he didn't really pan out for them like they wanted to. So I think it was a good move. Yeah, thank you, Jay. Junior Siakam's only 29. So yeah, so Yeah. So it's a good trade for both teams. But like I said, we'll know further down the line who got the best of the deal with what they get back within that draft capital, whether it's a up and coming rookie or or another veteran that you can flip with those picks. So yeah. So
Right.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. I like it. I like it for Indiana, man. It makes them more dynamic for sure. Siakam's very versatile on both sides of the ball. He's a good defender. He can guard multiple positions. And teams need that big wing. He can play the three. He can play the power forward spot. Even if you want to go extra small, he's capable of playing the 5 at some time because everybody's going small. So
Right.
He guards up. So
absolutely. And like I said, listen, man, you can't equate being a champion and win a championship and that experience that gives you, or
right.
So now he's going into a young locker room, right? With a team that is young, but they're playing well. That's gonna give them even more confidence. And Halliburton, has been out, but he's coming back soon. But they're still winning. And they didn't fall apart while he was gone. That's a good sign.
Yes,
that's a good sign.
Hey Ryan, let me ask you a quick question.
Yes,
within the 5 teams I'm looking at: Cleveland, New York, Miami, Indiana, and Orlando. Does that trade push them up over those teams, or are they still, still a mid team?
Oh, I think they're better than Orlando with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Orlando. Like if Orlando would have made that deal and got some kind of veteran, Orlando's all young players. They're all young.
They're playing well,
and they're playing exceptionally well.
Even for being in an ace spot, 22 and 19 is for them.
Listen, man. Yeah, that's coming from where they were coming from in the lottery. And that's where my Houston Rockets were at the time. But they went on a cold streak. They lost 3 in a row. Losing Tari Eason hurt them. Their defense went from being top 3. They're like, dropping now to 10. So I think they passed Orlando. Those other teams, no, I don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, because they all seem to be all hovering around, same.
Exactly.
Same record.
The same record, it's whoever gets hot, right? It's whoever gets hot. It's whoever can stay healthy.
You figure after the All-Star break, you'll start shaking out.
Right. And one thing I like about what the NBA did was they moved up the trade deadline before the All-Star game, not after the All-Star game. Because you go to the All-Star game and you're getting traded during the All-Star game. It just wasn't a good look. I remember that happened to DeMarcus Cousins at one point.
Boogie. Yeah, they did that to Boogie.
Yeah, that did that to Boogie. It wasn't a good look. He did go to the Pelicans and they had a nice run. But yeah, man.
Let me ask you this, Ryan.
Yeah.
Some of the rumors like Zach LaVine, Caruso, Rozier. Where you think some of these guys might wind up going? And also DeMar DeRozan.
And DeMar DeRozan? Yeah. I think the Bulls are going to look to unload some players because they know none of those guys want to be there. And I know we talked about this before. Their demise started with the ball with ball going down because they were balling when they had ball, when he was healthy and running the point and getting and putting everybody in their right spots. Losing him just derailed the whole thing. So if you lose him, you might as well just blow it up, man, because nobody wants to be there. I know there were rumors about the Lakers signing the shooting guard, with Zach, but then they kind of shot that down. I think that's just a smoke screen. I think they kind of do want him because I don't believe the Lakers believe in Austin Reeves like they say they do.
They don't.
They don't.
Right.
They push it like they do.
Oh yeah. But
they look like they believe in Darvin Ham too, right? Yeah.
Right.
Austin cannot guard anything, so that's the problem.
And another rumor with the Lakers is the point guard that was in Memphis that went to the Wizards.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh gosh, name slips my mind. But the Jones.
Okay, yeah, Tyus.
Tyus Jones. They're talking about him because they want a true point guard to help facilitate the rock because your boy.
I thought LeBron was the point guard.
No, stop that. You're right. LeBron
My bad.
the ball up 20% of the time. So what do you need a point guard for?
Right, but you still want LeBron off the ball sometimes. And the man's still 40 years old, guys. Okay, he can't do everything, bro.
That's not my
Wait a
point.
minute. We're not gonna start. We're not gonna do that, bro.
I'm just saying.
We're not gonna say
saying,
he's 40 years old today and
Time
tomorrow.
management.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody who can create and facilitate offense, not just LeBron. You know what I mean? So that's the point I'm making is LeBron is going to handle the ball most of the time. But what happens when he goes to the bench? What happens when he misses a game? Or you know what I'm saying? And that's going to happen. So you need somebody who's going to facilitate. D'Angelo Russell just doesn't facilitate the ball. He just doesn't.
Yeah,
Austin Reeves doesn't.
They're scoring guards.
Exactly. There's shooting guards who bring the ball up because they have nobody else. So and to be honest with you, we all play basketball. Sometimes, man, it's taxing bringing the ball up every time, and you're the one bringing the ball up every time.
Really?
So yes, it is.
That's what you want.
Listen, take it from me, man. I'm a shooting guard in a point guard's body.
I was going to say, I see Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm dead nice. But anyway,
Well, that's hold on. I'm gonna just say this. That's the NBA's fault. That's the NBA's fault because you don't have true point guards no more. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to shoot. Everybody wants to step back threes and all this other stuff.
Positionless basketball.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the positionless basketball.
I get it.
Right.
I get it. But all these
Crimea River
that these teams. Yeah, all these things that these teams are trying to find now, you had it say 10 years ago, but you poo-pooed on it because you don't shoot enough.
Wait.
You don't shoot more than 40% from the field and from three.
Didn't they have Schroeder?
That's the most important thing now.
Another guy who's not a point guard. He wants to score the ball.
Yeah, he's not. See, but the thing is this: the reality is this, man. You did have Ball. And they got rid of him, right? Because he could play, right? So
correct.
Now, listen, and you also
point guard.
You also got rid of Hart. You got rid of Hart, who played point guard too, but he was there as well.
You had Julius Randle.
So Julius Randle wasn't. Yeah, you can get rid of him because he don't want. Yeah, he's just going to shoot regardless. Even if LeBron wants the ball, Julius is shooting. He don't care. But the point I'm making is this, or I want to make is this: that they've had ample opportunity over the years to grab point guards and did not do so. But Tyus is a good point guard for them because he's not a star. He will
play his role.
And he'll play his role. He won't be mad that when LeBron's playing, he don't get the ball.
Right. And he also has an amazing assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah, he's good.
He's not going to turn the ball over. So that's I can see that being a good fit over there, like for what you just said, DA. So absolutely. Yeah, and I know the Knicks are rumored to wanting Bruce Brown as well.
Yeah, no, we're gonna try to get that done.
Yeah. And if the Knicks get Bruce Brown, man, they're gonna be tough defensively, bro. Woo. Yeah, and he's like a Swiss Army knife. Yeah, so.
No, that's definitely. I think they get Bruce Brown. Watch out. Not saying could be interesting for the Knicks, man. Let me dive into some other things. The Hawks, they're struggling.
Yes,
Trae Young,
I was getting ready to talk about the Hawks. You're right. So the only two guys who are untouchable are Trae Young and the young kid, the Johnson kid. They've made Clint Capella available. They made Murray available. Travis Hunter available. Boyan available. So they made basically everybody available because they're trying to unload too to get other assets. I know the Rockets want Clint Capella back because they need a backup five with Sengun, a defensive guy. So so the Atlanta Hawks definitely gonna be making some moves, man. Definitely. There was rumors about Murray going back to San Antonio to play with Wemby.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
That'd be cool.
right. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, and and the Spurs knew what they were doing when they traded Murray in the first place because they had to tank. If Murray's there, they're gonna win. They're gonna win games. He's that good. So they knew what they were doing. So it worked out for them. Yeah. So yeah. So like it's the trade deadline is gonna be fun, man. It's a lot of teams who feel like they're close. Yeah. Go ahead, Kev.
No, you and so I want to talk about one of your clips, one of the clips that we talked about, I think 2 weeks ago when you was on here, actually went a little viral on TikTok, man. When we talked about Steve Kerr, yeah, man, we had over 1,000 views and it did very well. So I'm not saying that we're gonna go into that bag again, but the Warriors.
Real quick, Kev, before I dive into the Warriors, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to their assistant coach who passed away, man.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
at the team dinner, bro. I mean, imagine that, man. I mean,
that was crazy, bro. Yeah,
they've been obviously they've been struggling, with team chemistry and Draymond being out, and for this to happen, man, it's just terrible, man. He was loved by so many players. I didn't really know much about him, and I didn't know he was loved by so many people. Obviously, in the NBA, it's a fraternity. Whether it's coaching, players, everybody are stick together and stuff like that, and support each other. But yeah, man, and a nice little piece was a Toronto coach who was like his best friend, or really close friend. Ran the play that he created, he made famous. Some play that they ran, that was the first play they ran in honor of him, and they scored on it. So that was a nice little touch, man. But yeah, just rest in peace to that
Miller.
Yes. Yeah.
Bogdanovich is taking it hard. Because that's his countryman, and he helped him get on. So.
Right. Yeah, man. So yeah.
Dude was young. He's 46 years old.
46 years old, bro.
Wow.
Heart attack at the team dinner.
Damn.
Yeah, well, hard.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, brother.
So then they postponed that game, I believe last night. It was
and tomorrow's game as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that and the reason why they did that is because after tomorrow, Golden State doesn't play until Wednesday, so it gives them a nice 6-day. Just to deal with how they're gonna deal with it, man. But it's just awful news, man. Awful news. And like I said, and blessings to his family and his friends and his loved ones. Yeah. But getting back to what was your question about Golden State, Kev? I apologize.
I mean, I know
they watched. Are they watched?
I know they're struggling. Will they make it to the playoffs? I know it's a little bit early to determine that, but what it looks like.
Right. So the only way they're going to make it into the play-in is if Houston or Utah or the Lakers, flop. And right now it's looking like my Rockets are flopping a little bit. Utah has been playing well. They caught a hot streak. So Utah's won like 6 in a row. So the Lakers were struggling before these last 2 games. They had a good win against OKC, but you can tell something's just off with them, man. Like whether it's obviously the Draymond factor, but and dynasties never end well, man. They just don't.
No, they fall off a cliff.
Yes, it's what I'm saying. And I'm still shocked that they won the championship 2 years ago. Like I'm still in like disbelief of it. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So and Steve Kerr, not getting the young kids ready for when Clay started showing his age after all those injuries.
Indeed.
When Draymond started showing his age and then showing his his tactics to get kicked out of games and stuff and things of that nature. So it's hard for veterans to play well and be consistent when you're not getting consistent minutes. Imagine what that would do to a young player. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. So I don't like their dynamic as a team. So I would say no, they don't make the playoffs or the play-in.
They need to blow that shit up.
Blow it right. Absolutely.
If I may,
yes.
The reality is they had a bunch of young players that they let go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They never gave Wiseman a real chance.
Not
in
a
my
shot.
opinion.
Not a shot. Yep.
Yeah, in my opinion, for whatever reason.
And that's why the GM is gone.
Yeah. So the reality is, you get a 7-footer with that type of skill. Because I watched him play. None of the kid can't play. He can't play.
Right.
He had good games in the NBA.
Right.
You just got to figure out a system. So if you're saying, okay, listen, maybe during the season, dude, you take the weight, and then in the playoffs we throw it back to Steph and Clay. Right. So in the play, but they didn't do that. So he was there running up and down the court, and they were still jacking the threes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't work, and that's why it made it look like he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do.
Right.
But I know Wiseman can play. So I mean, if he ever gets a chance to get out of Detroit and play somewhere, people will see that he's not a bad player.
Right. And also too, man, they kind of, you know, for their failures from last season, they kind of used Jordan Poole as a scapegoat.
And Jordan can play.
And Jordan can hoop. I know he went to Washington and everybody, you know, I thought he was gonna damn near lead the league in scoring, but he can. Right, but he can hoop, and you take that scoring dynamic off of that team where he's playing off of Steph, he's just going crazy, right? So now you trade that and you bring in a Chris Paul who's long in the tooth, man. Injury prone.
That Ryan, that didn't make no sense.
No sense at all.
And,
and Chris Paul, for what he does, is brilliant at it. But that team didn't need
not for that team.
Not for that team. Because what it did, it made them smaller, it made them slower, it made them older, right? So, right. And I know Golden State struggles with turnovers, and I can see maybe, okay, if we bring Chris Paul to run the second unit, you know, when Steph comes out the game, we're not going to, you know, either lose a lead or fall behind. But
they still are not going to beat Sacramento. They have no chance. So he's beating
not this year.
I mean,
nope.
I mean, they beat them. Right. Not this team, you know. Right.
Golden State?
No.
Yeah, Golden State can't beat Sacramento.
Not this team right now. They beat them last year in the playoffs.
I'm sorry. Why are we even talking about it? They're not even going to make it to Sacramento.
Right. I don't even think they make it to the play-in game.
They got a play-in game. Of course they can make it.
And the hard part is that for that team, they really don't have no trade capital.
It's really the only one they have is Kuminga. That's the only one, and maybe Moody. As far as but Kuminga, you can tell, you know, he flashes brilliance where he can
he can ball.
Yeah,
but,
he can.
You know,
but exactly, but he can hoop. But he's still like a project. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, but then you got the media putting out funny shit like, he doesn't practice and he don't do that, you know, and people are like, where's that coming from?
Right.
You know, because he does practice. He doesn't, you know, so he got a bad rap for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Right.
Well, Ron, let me move off of the Golden State wash.
Acting like they did.
Look, let's move
on. Mike Mills.
Hey, let me real quick.
Y'all are tripping.
Go ahead, Mike.
Y'all acting like they dead in the water. I feel like their biggest problem is they shots not falling, and Steve Kerr don't know how to coach a rotation. That's really their biggest problem.
Well, those are big
problems.
Listen, I mean, shoot, right? You living down by the 3 ball, so eventually them good shots are gonna go in. That's really what I feel like it is. I just feel like
but
Jordan Poole is terrible. I don't know where y'all got this. He's a good player stuff from here.
No. For them, he was perfect.
Yeah, man, that kid's not bad.
When you on a team like Washington, you supposed to be leading that. He's supposed to be leading that team. There's a lead guard on a team with no point guard.
I don't believe in that, man, because leadership, everybody's not a leader, man.
You still supposed to get buckets. You on a terrible team.
Well, but
they just took the terrible Cleveland boys and was averaging 20. What is Jordan Poole doing? Drowning.
If the system doesn't allow for that, it ain't gonna allow for that.
Is
right?
He not
so
the league
what I'm saying, but he can't listen. He can get those shots. They guarding him now.
Right, exactly. He's a first option, the second option. So
when he was Golden State, Those are open shots, man.
Exactly. Who you gonna leave? You gonna leave Steph? You gonna leave Clay? No. That's why in that system with Golden State, he was perfect.
Right, but now you're the man with the ball in your hand most of the time.
Now
that means like more shots, more opportunities. You're the creator. You're the initiator.
No, that means more eyes on you as they have to. They come in. The defense comes in like, hey, we got to stop Jordan Poole.
Right,
we got
to stop nobody else.
We got to and they have no and Kuzma.
And Kuzma the leading scorer. At least he getting his buckets on this badass team. See,
it's not efficient.
What I'm saying is this, Mike, and I'm not disagreeing with you totally. I'm just saying that on Golden State, you got open shots. It's a make and take lead, right? He gets to Washington, dudes are really guarding him. He's never been really guarded before. He can't make those shots. He can't get those shots off. It doesn't mean he can't play. It just means he can't play there.
AKA he's not.
It doesn't mean he can't play. It just means he can't play there.
Right.
You can't play. You the man. This is what you were groomed for. This is your moment. This is what you played for.
I got you. I got you, brother. But nah.
Get in. Go ahead.
And not only that, too, the reason why they're struggling is because Clay's struggling. He's very inconsistent with his shot now because I talked about it before. You're coming off an ACL. You're coming off an Achilles. You can't keep running the same offense you run with this guy, running him off screens. He has no legs. He's shooting threes and have no legs. No wonder, of course, that he's highly inconsistent and shooting his lowest field goal percentage in the last 3 years.
That's the reality.
That's the reality. They're not. He's not a sniper anymore. Steph is still.
When you get old, like jump shots come from your legs.
Correct.
So as you get older, that's what goes first as a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And no lift, you can't get those shots off.
Right.
So
and still running him to death off screens every damn game.
Yeah.
That's why he can't play defense. He's spent.
Guys, we're going to finish this up. Ryan, anything else before we move on to college basketball?
Man, hey, I'm pretty solid with the NBA, man. We still all-star voting is coming to an end as far as the fans goes, so we should know pretty soon who the starters will be. And so looking forward to the all-star.
They're back to the East-West format, correct? Yes,
they're back to the East-West. No more picking each other's teams and stuff like that. So no more fantasy draft type style. It's East-West.
Thank God.
That's good.
Well,
go ahead.
My boy Embiid damn near destroyed Jokic the other night. Real talk. 41 points.
And he gave go ahead.
Off a back-to-back.
Yeah.
He just got finished smashing Houston for 40.
But the reality, Jokic is probably a better all-around player. It's just that game. Embiid got him hard body.
Well, wait. You mean all-around player?
I think
Joker plays no defense.
Yeah, he does.
We're gonna play the Joker now.
No, I'm
Y'all defended Jordan Poole, but we're gonna slander Joker. All right.
No. Not we're comparing two players, and DA said he's a better all-around player. Where I disagree. He might be a better offensive player, where as far as getting assists goes and things like that. But you guys had preached to me all this time when I've been on here. Defense. You guys had preached that to me. Now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know.
Somebody better get Ryan. You better get him. Go ahead. Somebody jump in.
If you defend better than me, and I do everything else, you better.
Right? No. But hold on, Mike Mills, is Joker that much better than Embiid offensively?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. He's a better facilitator, but Embiid is a better scorer than Joker.
No.
Yes, he is.
Oh no.
Yes,
Mike,
he is.
You're wrong on that one, brother. You're wrong on
Joker
that one.
Let Mike get his. Go ahead, Mike.
He don't shoot better than Joker. I think his post game might be a little more. He gets to the line better. He definitely gets to the line better because that's where a lot of your buckets are gonna come from. He hits
threes and amazing. He hits threes, bro. Joker shoots an occasional three.
But Joker hits his threes, and B I don't know
Not
why they
right
have
now.
him out there that much.
No,
I don't know
no,
why they
no,
have
no.
him out there that
Mike,
much.
you can't
Listen.
be watching this year because this year he's
Listen.
dropping all of them.
Listen, so it's okay if you want to say it's 1A, 1B offensively. When it comes to defense, it's 1A, 1D. When it comes to the defensive end of the game,
That's a fact.
We not gonna front like Embiid some defensive player of the year. He fake play D. He played D, but he fake play D.
what are you talking about? He's made all team defensive like the last 4 or 5 years.
He ain't no defensive player of the year. Ain't
What
nobody
are
scared
you
of him like that.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Let's move on to college
Yes,
basketball. Mike Mills, he's our college basketball
Mike Mills.
guru, chef. Mike, what we got? I got a couple things for you. Since we haven't talked about college basketball all year long, I'm going to start out with the obvious question. Bronny James, what's going on with him? What do you think? As far as his here at USC being a freshman.
I mean, he had his little, he had his serious issue in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So it takes time to get back on your feet. I thought he should have redshirted for the year, but LeBron on that timeline where he want to play with him, so they trying to expedite it. So I get it, but I think he really should have sat. Your heart is real. You only get one of them. So
Yeah.
I feel like he should have sat. But I mean, he's coming along. He's playing. He's getting minutes. But it's his freshman year, and he wasn't like a 5-star recruit. He wasn't the top guy coming in. So, it's an adjustment period.
Gotcha. What else you got for us as far as college basketball?
All right, man. It's conference
Early.
play time. So this is when it starts to buckle down and get a little bit tough. I'm going to go over the top 15 with y'all, but we really only going to really talk about the top 4. Because I feel like there's nobody really too close to them. Like, nobody's really perfect this year. A lot of teams are taking losses.
Yeah.
Even the mighty Gonzaga, who losing the chip every year, they lost a few games.
Also too. Sorry, Mike. Also too, man. Just this past week, like in the top 10, like 7 of them lost.
Yeah.
That was in the top 10. It was crazy. The Houston lost 2 games and they were undefeated. So yeah, it's crazy. My bad.
All right, so we got UConn at number 1. We got Purdue at number 2. We got Kansas at number 3. And Kansas was real upset about being number 3 and UConn being number 1. Seeing they beat UConn earlier in the year.
Right.
So that was a little interesting. So, maybe they giving that defending champ home court shit, but who knows? And then we got Carolina at 4, which is an interesting team in itself. You got Houston at 5 with that lockdown defense. We got Tennessee at 6. Duke at 7, Kentucky at 8, Baylor at 9, Memphis at 10, Wisconsin at 11, Arizona at 12, Auburn at 13, Illinois at 14, and Oklahoma at 15. Now, Carolina, as we talked bad about the last couple of years on this show, their biggest problem was they shooting last year because they did go to the chip. But transfer portal, they went ahead and fixed that. They got some guys in. They got the guy from Notre Dame, Cormac. I watched them when they played Villanova. Carolina lost that game. Shout out to my Wildcats, But that boy Cormac was coming off them screens, killing us. And then the other guy they got in the 4, Ingram from Stanford, he's another one, another stretch 4. So they really fixed their biggest issue this year. They lost a guard. One of them went to Arizona, but R.J. Davis has stepped up. He's averaging 20 this year. And, of course, they got Baycott in the center.
Yeah, a question.
What's up?
How fucking old is Baycott, man?
He like 30, man. Only dude older than him, I think, is that guy in Miami who just got his 9th year.
Man, I looked at the game. I said, "What the motherfucker?"
Yo, Baycott is the new era of Ed Cota. Ed Cota was at UNC. I know about 6-7 years.
He like what's his name? What's his name from Kansas?
Shout out to Ed Cota.
What's the name? Perry Ellis. Remember
Hey.
Perry Ellis? He was in the league he was in college 7 years.
The NCAA is the new retirement home.
Yeah.
I sent Kevin and Daryl a thing that Lackey sent me. I think it was the tight end from Miami.
Yes.
Just got granted his fucking 9th year. His SSI checks are going to get delivered to the campus.
Well, they got this kid playing at what's that school downtown in Charlotte? What's that school, man? And the college, Johnson C. Smith. They got a cat. It's going to be his 6th year. And
This dude's going on 9.
This kid that went to Harding, he was I think it's 5-star actually. I watched him in high school. He's good.
Yeah.
He went to Michigan State. No, he went to Tennessee, then Michigan State, then another school, and he's going to finish up at Johnson C. Smith.
So Junior, our super producer brought up a good point. I'm sorry, D. He brought up a good point. He said that they were talking about COVID years. But my thing is, how many COVID years do you get? Do you get like 5 COVID years?
Now you get one.
You get one.
That dude's got a COVID year, a red shirt, a blue shirt,
they give you
a
the
yellow
graduate
shirt.
year too now. Like if you in a graduate program,
I hear that. Yes.
You know the Matt Leinart program because he was the first one doing it.
Yep.
I mean, look at Stetson Bennett for Georgia. That dude is 50 years old playing.
What year is he in? Bennett is what, his 8th year, 7th year?
He's in the pros. He's
in the pros now, but I'm saying, I mean, damn, like, yeah. Dude, he started at Georgia, left Georgia, went to two junior colleges, I'm like, he was back and he won 2 national championships. It was crazy. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But apparently you can play as long as you want.
Their G League.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you want to get guys 20, 21, 22 years old. You want to keep them under contract. You're getting guys coming out of college 25, 26, 27 years old. How long you think they're going to last?
Well, the Oklahoma State Bowman guy, I think he's in his 6th, 7th year.
Yeah.
I mean,
6, 7 year out of whatchamacallit high school.
Well,
they need to just drop that going to college, man. Just let them come from high school again. Just go ahead.
Especially if you're getting money NIL and you know you're not going to make it to the NBA. Like Baycott will probably get the NBA, but he's not going to be a star. He may be making more money now than he makes as the minimum in the NBA. So hey, I just want
that's why a lot of people are staying because of the NIL. A lot of college kids are staying because of the NIL money.
Yeah. Which
they're bouncing around, but
we'll talk about
college.
Right.
We got to have a show about that because that impacts the high school recruiting and a bunch of other things. But we can we'll talk about that another time. But go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Now we talking about Carolina. Yeah, Carolina got some good wins and they got some bad losses. Like they lost to UConn head to head. They lost to Villanova, lost to Kentucky. But ever since they lost to Kentucky, they done got it together. So they hot right now. We got Purdue, who just lost the other week to
my mother.
That's your mother heard.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Zach Edey, the defending player of the year. And that point guard on their team, man, that was the name, that Smith kid, Braden Smith, that boy get busy, man.
He's good.
They really bringing that pick and roll back to life. Like, Nebraska kind of trapped them on it a little bit, but I think they're going to figure their way back together.
Well, Purdue got an 8-foot dude, though, so, you know.
Yeah, he's...
Hey, Mike, is Timmy still at Gonzaga?
No, I think he gone, ain't he? Drew
no,
Timmy?
I think, yeah. Is he still? I know he went. I know he went into the to draft and he took his name out.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
So I don't know if he. I don't know. Now maybe that was 2 years ago. I'm not sure.
Drew Timmy is in the G League.
He's in the G League. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed that 5 Slamma Jammas in the top 5.
And where he'll stay at is the G League.
I mean, they was top.
Baby. Damn, what you know about that?
Last year, man.
Glide. Come on now.
Akeem.
Did they lose NC State?
Yeah. Championship game.
Yeah.
Yep. Mike, Jim Valvano.
Yep.
Okay, let's not talk about that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. But no, that's impressive that Houston's back in the top 5.
They've been
last couple years, man. The last couple years, man. The way they play defense.
Last 4 or 5 years, man, they've been top 10 easy.
Yeah, you know, old Kelvin Sampson and his phones is down there. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mike, anything else before we move on to the National Football League on college basketball? College basketball is back. It's January, well, about to be February.
Nah, man, listen. We talking about the top 4. Just it's conference play. This is when a lot of teams feed on each other. This is where a lot of teams get them signature wins they've been missing. And then the little guys, this is where they get their warm-ups for the tournament. So just tap in now and keep going. Because before you know it, it'll be right after the Super Bowl, we'll start having conference tournaments and people clinching them bids.
Yep. That's when it gets exciting, for real.
That's good times, man. That's good basketball, man, around that
time.
Hey,
big up to my man Rob Gray, who was the point guard for the original Houston team that's started this comeback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Rob Gray. Yep.
Yeah. And then my man Captain Jack from Cardinal Hayes High School in the BX coming down to North Carolina next year. Set this thing on fire for real. There you go. Peace.
Okay. Any other shout outs? Anybody else want to shout out? I mean,
Word is early.
we on the radio. Yo, shout out to my mans and them.
Hey, shout out to Jimmy Butler going to the FAU game in Boca. He's at the game.
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah. That's good, man. Good for FAU, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. FAU did their thing last year in the Final Four, man. So we'll see what magic they can create down here in South Florida, man. Yeah, no, we're not. No, I just was absolutely joking. No shout outs. No, we're moving on to the NFL. No, because that'll get crazy.
I'm about to give you a good one too. But go ahead.
Yeah, since you're at it, go ahead. I'll give you one.
Shout outs to Shador and Shiloh Sanders for going down to Fashion Paris to go do their thing.
Oh, they getting it in, bro.
Yeah. Instead of hanging out with their teammates and doing what they're supposed to do with their teammates. But
they hanging out with something else, boy. They getting it in.
Whoa.
They supposed to be practicing in January?
Pause.
Hey, man, you're supposed to be with your team and do the meetings, man. If you're gonna be leaders, do the
in
thing.
January, man. Listen,
hey, if you claiming to be, you want to be the best, and you want to do the things. That's what you're supposed to do. Hang out, do the right thing with your team.
Listen,
but that's
bro,
my personal opinion.
It's January, man. It ain't spring ball time.
It is January. Ain't nobody at school.
It ain't signing day where you need me to walk people around campus. It ain't none of that. I'll be back in time for my obligations.
Okay. Yo, have a good time in
January,
bro.
Yeah, me having time, man.
Go ahead, man.
February, March, I got you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold you out to that.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin.
No more shout outs.
No more shout outs? I got another one. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Nope. The National Football League. Let's move on to the coaching carousel, as does the NFL. I'm going to start off with I'm going to give this to Dan. Dan's the Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Dan, you saw your main man, your coach, Mike Tomlin. He walked off the podium the other night when somebody asked him about his coaching future, and I think rightfully so, because I think you should ask about the X's and O's, and I think that media person didn't have self-awareness. So Mike Tomlin walked off. Your thoughts on him going into this next year, possibly being a lame duck? Does the Steelers brass give him a deal? Do they let him go? Coaches don't grow on trees. What do you do?
Well, that being said, I will say this. I see on YouTube that Snoop Dogg 100% is backing Mike Tomlin on the Rich Eisen show to come back to Pittsburgh. And if you watch that conference, you hear, like, if you see the whole thing, not what they clip, you hear the guy go, all right, anyone? And then whoever the brainchild, they said, hey, you're going into your last year. He don't want to hear that shit about the season. Next season, he's dealing with what just happened.
Indeed.
And he's just like, you know what? Get a clue, and walked off. And that like, I don't know how these guys do it, because if anybody saw it, was it DeMarco Ryans with Houston, the presser he had, and whoever the scholar that asked him that, how are you going to deal with the climate up in Detroit for your playoff game?
Oh yeah, well that was yeah.
Oh, no, that's a Tampa. That's a Tampa guy.
That was
whatever.
Ty Bolt.
Ty Bolt, yes, and you could see the look on his face.
Ty Bolt.
He wanted to laugh.
He's like, bitch, please. It's a dome. They got AC and they got heat.
He said we're gonna be in the cold for 20 seconds when we walk off the bus.
Off the bus into the building. I'm like, that's the shit these guys got to deal with. Yeah. So for him to walk off, I don't blame him at all. But honestly, like, I called for his head only in the fact that if he was going to be that loyal and not get rid of the OC, who was absolute dog shit, then if he won't let him go, then let them both go. Was my thought on that. He's a great coach. He's a little bit above 500 coach every year. And for the Steelers, the organization, They wanted him until he wants to leave. It's not.
And they're always like that though, man. They're so loyal to their coaches, man. Their head coaches. They've only had like what 4? No, they're like
three. Since I was born, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing, man.
Yes, they give the leniency and the rope for these guys to do what they need to do. They're not like Jerry Jones. They're not like David Tepper. They don't meddle in the shit and try to run the team on the field. They let the coaches do their thing. But with like Coach T, this is a pivotal year in the fact that they normally don't spend money on coordinators. They don't spend money on extra staff, whether it be special teams, defense, offense. Like they have their position coaches, but you see like San Francisco, they got a coach for everything. And they need to they need to go out and get a top name offensive coordinator that knows what he's doing. Like Kubiak, that's the quarterback coach or whatever for San Fran. I would love to see him come in and put that type of offense into Pittsburgh because they have the weapons at those positions like San Francisco does. Yep. They've got the Pickens. They've got Deontay Johnson. They got Najee. They got Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
They got Washington at tight end. They got Freiermuth at tight end. They have the weapons. And I would love to see them re-sign Mason because I think under this, like, here's the thing. If we didn't have Mitch and they didn't try to force feed him to Steeler fans and put his ass out there when he sucked, like when Kenny got hurt against Mike's Ravens, we were up. He threw 3 fucking interceptions in a row.
Yep.
And we lost that game. So, and you see what Mason did when he came in. He's been there 6 years. He knows the offense. Now, if you bring in a different coordinator, then everybody has to learn the offense. But that being said, spend some money on some coordinators and extra coaches. Bring in Hines Ward at the receiver. Teach Pickens how to block. And they have the talent.
Indeed,
like
they do.
we were absolutely demolished at linebacker and in the defensive secondary at the end of the year, and somehow we still won 3 or 4. So, in my opinion, he needs to get the coach of the year for what he did with the team he had and the coordinator bullshit that they had to put up with. Because you saw once they got rid of Canada, they put up the most yards they ever put up in the last 4 years. They scored back-to-back 30-point games with Mason.
Yep.
So the talent's there and the play is there. You have to call the plays to put them in a position. Like jet sweeps, get the fuck out of here. That's college. You can't beat teams sideline to sideline now. They're too damn fast.
Yeah.
Just ask the Cowboys. If you try to run anything wide on them, you're losing yards. But you run right at them, you run the fuck over them. So you have to call plays to your strengths. And once they went to under center, handing the ball off to Najee under center, they started running. Like we were one of the best running teams at the end of the year out of the entire NFL.
That's simple. And I guess we'll have a football education show one day, but that's what works, right? So you're not 4 yards in the backfield giving the ball to the running back.
You can't hand the ball off to Najee from the shotgun because you already put him in a disadvantage because he's already on the one side of the field or the other.
Right.
You have to have him behind so he can pick either side and run to the hole.
And he's not a speedster.
No,
he's
King Henry. But at the beginning of his career, he's not the same type of player that Henry is right now. But he has that ability to get there if you feed him the ball in correct positions and give him an avenue to run to and not just, put him on one side of the field or the other. So Tomlin coming back, I love it. I want them to hire some, a good big name offensive coordinator, somebody that has, a San Francisco type offense to where we can exploit the talent that we already have in the building.
Gotcha.
I read today that they said Tomlin said he not promoting whatever offensive coordinator he getting is coming from elsewhere. Yeah, he's done.
Well, they have to. Like
Yeah.
Sullivan and the other dude, they did an admirable job taking over in the middle of the season and getting that offense on track. But with their I think I can't remember the other guy's name, but the other dude had called plays. I think Sullivan's the one that was calling plays, but he had called plays in the past, but it was like 7-10 years ago. But what they did, was a good job under the circumstances because we never fire anybody in season ever, let alone fire anybody ever. Yeah, they keep them around until they decide it's time for them to go, or they're no longer breathing. But that's the Steeler way. They're loyal, but please, please, please hire somebody that has a clue how to run the offense.
Well, it's not Matt Canada, right?
It'll be a long time before he coaches in the NFL again.
Damn. Well,
that was 3 years. Everybody got to see that.
Yeah. That's definitely true. Yo, well, Mike, your Baltimore Ravens, they got to play the Houston Texans this weekend. What you got?
Man, we gonna win that game. What you mean? What else is there to be said? I mean, they saying Marlon Humphrey might not play, so that might be interesting because CJ Stroud like to launch it down the field, but I think we done had some rest. We should be getting some guys back full speed. Mark Andrews supposed to be out there playing. I mean, even if he don't really do too much, even if he decoy, likely been going crazy anyway. So it's not like we missed it too much at tight end. So with or without him, I think we'd have been okay. I just want to see if Dalvin Cook got any gas in the tank because he looked cooked in New York. I don't know what that was with signing him all late. I'd rather we just stuck with Melvin and not use them than go get somebody that was cooked. So, I mean,
I think he's going to be all right.
You think so?
Yeah, the reason why is because the Jets didn't have an offensive line, so he couldn't really do anything there. He still got gas. He was on the practice squad, I think, for the last 4 weeks. So with that being said, now he knows plays. You don't know them all, but there are two things that Dalvin Cook could do. He had good eyes and could see. He was great at blitz pickup. So, he just might be brought up to blitz pickup.
Yeah, he can catch at the backfield. So, he can catch.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he'll add, and he doesn't fumble. I think he'll add, and he just may take some carries and give you some rest on the way to the Super Bowl, which I believe that's where you're going either way. So everybody got to come to you, brother. So everybody got
right, and not only that, he's going to have more running lanes because that's Lamar back there.
Yeah,
that's Lamar. So they're going to be keen on Lamar. His quarterback runs and stuff like that. So that's going to open up lanes for running backs. So yeah. So I mean, I don't think it didn't hurt to try. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Right.
Well, we kicked the tires. Season's almost over. So.
Yeah, but like I said, he was on the practice squad, right? So the fact that he was on the practice squad and they decided to bring him up and put him on the roster means that someone else got cut. So that means that they believe that there's something there. And I did read today somewhere that he is playing, like he will get snaps this weekend.
Well, you got to figure too, he played for the Jets. And, how much effort or passion are you going to have, to go out there and perform when nobody's blocking in front of you?
Right.
But remember, he signed with the Jets when Aaron Rodgers was still there.
And he's playing behind Breece Hall too.
Yeah. I mean, so for him, my biggest question, and we had this discussion before we got on the air, before most of you guys were on here, is they have a trade deadline. And if you don't get traded by that deadline, you can't play in the playoffs.
Right.
But if you get cut after that date, somehow you're eligible for the playoffs if another team picks you up, which I think is complete horseshit. There should be a hard date for all of that. And not that I even care. I just think across the board, not even just it's Baltimore, any team. I just think that's crazy that if you put a hard date, that if you don't, you're on the roster and you don't get traded by a certain date, you can't play in the playoffs for another team. But if you get caught, all of a sudden you're free game. I think that's a wild to me.
Yeah, loophole.
Real quick, Angry One, what you got? Houston versus Baltimore.
Well,
Who you got?
I got Baltimore, but I'm scared. I mean, I'm not even a Baltimore fan, but I'm scared because outside of Josh Allen, there's nobody else in the NFL that has more pressure on them to perform and deliver a Super Bowl than Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's very deserving of it. However, you got to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
And a team like the Texans, as hot as they are, people got to remember, yes, Lamar and the running game, yes, it's dynamic. However, you're facing a coach in DeMeco Ryans who's seen and played against all of that. So I'm quite sure that he's going to have these guys ready. Yes, they're young and all that other stuff, but they're hungry too. They get paid too. So let's not act like Houston's just going to get ran up out of there. I think there's going to be a very good game. Might be the best game of the weekend. But Baltimore, tread lightly.
All right,
don't sleep.
I got you. Real quick. Hey, we got express train on this one. Hey, DA, Buffalo, and we got something to talk about this. Buffalo and Kansas City. Who you got?
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I would
KC's
give Josh-
first
I
road
would
game
give-
for Mahomes.
Yeah,
Right.
I would give Josh. No, Kansas City. They're just,
There you go.
Oh,
I
you
don't know
don't
why
believe?
you did that. You knew
You
that
don't
the
be-
whole time.
You don't believe?
He's playing.
no, because Buffalo's defense is really ass.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's just the reality of it, man.
But so is
Okay.
That's
KC's
just the
offense.
reality of it. You know, so I think Mahomes will find a way because that's what he does.
Okay.
And I think Allen will go back to throwing the ball to dudes in red jerseys or white jerseys, whatever color they wear. The opposite of what he's wearing. He's going to give up to.
And you have
Gotcha.
to figure that the weather doesn't matter because they just played
No.
in the coldest game ever in Kansas City.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
going to
And-
Buffalo is not going to be like Miami going to Buffalo.
And the reality is Spags knows Josh Allen.
Mhm.
Right, but the only thing with that, yeah, they're both teams like the Colt. Miami didn't like the Colt, and that was evident. So they're not going to have that advantage because Buffalo is used to the cold as well.
Exactly.
So
Real quick, Ryan, who you got real quick? And I'm gonna get it around to you before I throw it back to Kev. Got it.
oh man, I'm going Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Going Buffalo at home.
Dan, who you got?
First off, everybody go to CBS, get your picks in before
Yes.
these games happen this weekend, and we'll get into the poll how everybody's doing here at the end. But I'm going Buffalo just for the mere
Buffalo.
fact that this is Casey Mahomes' first road game, and Josh Allen will fake slide his way again into the end zone.
Speaking of that, before I get back to that, Angry One, who you got?
I'm gonna take them off of Fraud Street. I'm gonna go Buffalo, but just like I said about Dallas last week, boy, if y'all lose,
We're coming.
y'all lose,
We're
I
all
think
coming.
the confidence is going to be at an all-time low in that for that organization with this current team, and they might have to look within and start making some changes because obviously something ain't working. I'm going
Gotcha.
Buffalo though, but
Buffalo. Mike Mills, who you got?
I'm going Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I told y'all plenty of times. Buffalo is not built for the weather they play in. Somebody gonna crack Josh Allen on them stupid slides, and the game is gonna be over. So I'm going with Kansas City.
Buffalo.
And they
Kansas
don't run
City.
the ball well.
13 times a game.
Well, listen, I'm
Shit.
going with Buffalo to get the win. Now, before I give it back to Kev, I had to go. I was talking to DA earlier. I'm sick of these quarterbacks sliding, fake sliding, and the defense can't hit you. That's something that has to change when they go into winter meetings or whatever meetings they go into, to check to stop this, because that's a disadvantage to the defense already.
Correct. That's a good point because on several times in the Miami Kansas City game, when Mahomes is running, they didn't know if to hit him or not hit him.
Hit him or not hit him.
Yeah, it was like
These guys are so scared to they coughing up money, and I don't blame them because you hit me in my pockets, and I don't know if the guy's going to slide, and if Mahomes is good for tippy toeing down the line, and then DA guy
hit him anyway.
The issue, yes, well, that's what I would have done if I was playing, right? But the part about this that's really effed up is the fact that when Cameron Newton was playing quarterback, what they would tell the world
He's too big.
They would say once the quarterback leaves the pocket,
free game.
he's a running back.
Right. Yeah.
You see what they did
Right,
to Fields this year. Nobody said a word.
But
Hey, yeah, that dude can't get a
But-
call.
Word.
now you look and you see that if you hit a dude while you think he's sliding, he might slide. Even there's I've seen real good tackles on quarterbacks when they were going out of bounds and it's 15-yard flag.
It's crazy.
The NFL is very inconsistent with what they're doing, and it's hurting their game, like a lot of other calls. So
Go ahead, Dan.
I just got one thing. They changed the rule in college football for what Kenny Pickett did, and
Yes.
I think it was the
3 years ago.
One of those balls.
for the fake slide. Josh Allen did the same exact thing on the 52-yard touchdown they got. Later on, Miles Jack got a penalty for lighting him up because he slid late. So it's like the guy fake slides, you let him go, he scores a touchdown. He slides late, you hit him, you get the penalty. What the fuck are you supposed to do?
A Cincinnati Bengal last year during the championship game. Remember he got called. He hit it was late, but
out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds, right? But like D-Dub says, Mahomes does that nonsense of tippy-toeing to the sideline. Is he gonna go in and go out? So I'm with y'all on that, where they need to closely look at this and penalize the offensive team. If you're going to give yourself up, you got to give yourself all the way. If you don't, you'll be penalized 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
Oh,
hell,
my thing is this: the running backs don't get to slide.
Word. I say
if
hit
you're
him
outside of
anyway.
the pocket,
exactly.
I'm going to nail you. I'm going to hurt you.
If you run,
point blank, period, end.
quarterback or not,
personal foul number
It
7.
only take one. If I hit you hard enough, you're not gonna come. You're not doing that shit again.
Defense.
I'm going to hit you one good time.
Quarterback.
You got to take the hit. You got to take the hit for the team.
You want to protect the quarterback, but as soon as he leaves the pocket, no slide.
That's on him.
You take the hit like everybody else does.
Hey, yo, dog, I don't give a fuck if you do slide. I'm
gonna hit you. Yes, it was me. Go ahead and find me. It was me.
Because the rule in the book says once a quarterback leaves the pocket, he's a running back. There was never no such thing as he gave himself up.
Right.
Because the running back can't give themselves up. A tight end can't give themselves up, nor can a wide receiver. So the reality is, if we're going by the rules, quarterback leaves the pocket.
Junior makes a good point, and we're going to have to. Right, I'll get you Ryan in a second.
Oh no,
he was talking about how the current NFL nobody knows how to hit, and tackling is very poor either. If you saw Bradbury the other night, I don't know what that was.
The entire Eagles secondary. Oh my God!
Yeah, that was awful.
Part of that is because of these damn rules that they've implemented just to boost up the fucking offense.
That's a fact.
We know what it
That's
is.
a
Man. It's
There was a
politics.
bunch of orange cones in their backfield. These guys, it was just like running a drill. Nobody fucking tackled anybody.
What is a defenseless receiver? You should penalize the fucking quarterback for throwing the ball that high, making the guy jump over the middle of the damn field where their linebackers at.
Junior, I'm with you. They don't practice anymore. They don't. They took away all of that stuff. Practice.
Wow.
But Tom Brady said that.
Yep.
Tom Brady said that. He said, "Yo, that's on the quarterback.
You can't throw it in a position to put your guy in danger. That's why I don't throw certain passes." That's exactly what he said.
Like we discussed the practicing thing a million times, dog. It's a union thing, and the ones who rule the unions are who? The old guys, the veterans. So what happens with a contract is Michael Strahan did not want to practice. It wasn't the young guys, Kev. It was Michael Strahan.
That's a fact. Michael Strahan. I mean,
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
The old dudes in the union at the time that said we don't want to practice these days, or if we do, we don't want to hit. The young dudes like, yo, I've been hitting in college. We still do 2-a-days in college. The young kids get to lead. They don't care about hitting. That's what they do.
So that's why they go to Paris, huh?
But when you're 35 years old, you don't want to do that no more. When you're 35, you don't want to hit. You don't want to hit when you're 35.
Ryan, go ahead. You had your hand, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. also too, man, what's been a domino effect, because we're talking about hitting and defensive players and things of that nature, because of the emphasis on CTE, the head injuries. You've seen a lot of people getting their knees blown out, bro. And if you ask players,
Higgins or Higbee on the Rams.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, like if you ask players, right, do you rather hit me up high than up low? Because it's these knee shots, man, are like it's like they're going straight for God. What happened to Nick Chubb against the Pittsburgh guy? Like it's like a knee shot, man. Like they gotta outlaw that, man.
The real shit is this, man. Usually, and this is what the truth is, you're going for their thighs, right? Because if you go high, helmet to helmet, right? You're gonna get not only a penalty, you're gonna get fined.
Right.
Right. So what happens is when a running back, quarterback, anybody is running the ball, when you're about to tackle them, they go low, they dip, low man wins. That's what you're taught to do.
Right,
so the defense, if you have your head, you're looking at that man's chest, and you're about to tag him in the chest. That's what you're looking at. When he starts to dip, his head was where his chest was at.
Right.
So
I get it.
So what they do is you hit him in the thighs, but gravity is 9.8 meters per second on all things at all times. So when you looking at his thighs and you jump in the air to hit, you dip some too.
Yeah.
And that's why you get hit. That's why you hit him in the knees.
It's so hard, man.
Yeah, they get put in a real bad position.
Yeah. Yeah.
The NFL Pro Bowl is going to be what the regular season is going to be in a couple years.
Yeah, flag football.
And I believe this is some what the powers to be want.
100%.
I said it.
Yeah.
Listen, we got to go. We have one last person. Go ahead. We got to go.
Did we say defenders of the fans?
Well, we
they got to start going.
We're no longer the defender of the fan. We're the real sports fans headquarters. That's what we are now. We gave up that moniker for those, as y'all can see, the logos, the pretty logos up there. No, we are no longer the defenders of the fans. Fans, you are on your own. You have to find another state attorney or somebody to represent you, because we're not defending none of that stuff no more. So you got to make up your own mind. Vote with your dollars, all of that good stuff.
Told you.
Before we sign off here, I didn't give my picks for the division. I want to give my picks here. I'm picking the Bills, I'm picking the Lions, I'm picking the Niners, and I'm picking the Ravens. They're all the home teams playing, but
chalk.
So how's the scoring going in that league so far?
Which league? What are you talking about?
The CBS Pick'em.
Dan,
Dan, you must be winning, huh?
Right. This guy has harassed me all week. Hey, who's winning? The hockey dude. The guy.
Hey, you got to talk your shit when you can.
Absolutely.
What a really great show. What a great show, man. We went over a little bit, man. We still didn't even get to. Listen. All those that got Apple products, man. You better update your computer when you're supposed to, because I didn't, and that's what happened. And I was like, wow, what happened? And I think updated right in the middle of the show, but I guess I'm good now, and I should be all good. So we didn't get to go over. We were supposed to do a hit and miss segment. We'll do that next week. But man, it's a pleasure to come before you and talk some sports, which we all love to do. As you can see on this panel, we have a full house tonight. All seven of us is in the house, and I'm so greatly appreciative to all of the guys, man, coming through and talking sports, man. So hey, we're gonna do some parting shots. I'm gonna start with the DA parting shots for this week. What you got for us, man?
Don't do drugs. Niners are gonna win.
Okay. All right. He's on his Nancy Reagan stuff. Don't do drugs, and Niners will win this weekend. Thank you, DA. Appreciate you. The angry one. What you got for us tonight, man? Sporting his Brooklyn Nets hat. Is that a Nets hat? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nothing too heavy, man. As always, it's a pleasure to be up here talking sports with you guys. Ryan, appreciate you as always. Appreciate everybody in the comments, everybody out there in viewership land, podcast land, all that good stuff. Hey, nothing too heavy, man. Shout out to Mr. McCarthy for still somehow keeping a job.
Not his fault.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. Yeah.
36 and 15 in the last three.
Yeah, he went 12
do?
and 12 and 5, man. Every year. That's not bad.
Okay.
Not
I
his
like
fault.
mediocrity. Go ahead.
I
Hey,
mean, they haven't won in
oh,
30
ahead.
years, bro. I mean, they meet
Owner.
Yeah.
That's the
Running
fucking
back
problem.
killer. Running back killer.
Okay. Next.
That's all I got, Kev. Go ahead. I ain't gonna get
Man,
that
what you
started.
got for us, bro?
Great show. Ryan, always good to see you. Mikey, good to see
Absolutely,
you.
brother. Thank you, brother.
James, Dorian, D-Dub, Kevin. Awesome show. Here we go. Some Cowboys. Cowboys are at the golf course. Let's go.
That's so annoying, man. I hear so annoying.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Oh my god. Yeah.
But
Here we go home. Here we go home.
And the best part was Jordan Love at the end of the game when the last kneel down. All right, here we go. Boom. Nail.
He did that?
Yes. He did.
Yes.
He did.
If Junior can pull it up for us real quick before we can go.
Awesome.
Yo, I didn't know he did that.
I didn't know he did that either.
Because y'all all turned.
Yeah,
Football
you're not a real
is a
fan.
combat
You didn't
sport.
watch the game.
Combat sport.
The hockey guy watched the whole game. Come on.
That's Dan, the hockey dude. Mike Mills, what you got for us before we get out of here, man? What you got?
Nothing major. Glad to be here. Glad to see everybody. As Scotty Barnes clears this leg of my parlay, let's hope Jalen Brunson stays under 30. And that's it.
Nice. I've been getting my ass kicked in these parlays, man.
Mike is talking about something. We got something in the nearby future. We're trying to partner with somebody, so look out for that. We know there's a bunch of you folks that like to gamble on certain things, and like in your office pool and all that stuff. So we got something in the works for some of you folks. We're gonna try to collab with some folks, man. D-Dub, what you got for us, man? Thank you, Mike.
Yo, nothing, man. Other than that, good show. Glad to see everybody. Nothing too heavy here. Everybody be good. Have a good weekend. Stay warm. It's gonna be cold next couple of days. Wherever you have, if you're, I guess, not in Florida. Oh, what's this? Homegirl Debbie D. I didn't get to talk about them Dallas Cowboys, but I think
Debbie D.
Yeah, the Cowboys, man, terrible. But anyway, Mike McCarthy's coming back. Hey,
yeah, they're gonna run it back. They're gonna run it back.
I don't know how you're gonna run it back. You never went nowhere.
Run it back in the trash.
Yeah, you never went nowhere to run it.
They got to get a running back
in the
man.
first round.
Run it back. What he do is kill running backs. What?
No. Pollard. No, Pollard's not an every down back, bro. He can't run between the tackles.
I'm talking about the history of running back bones in the graveyard before him.
Yeah, man.
Zeke was all right.
No, but overall, it's super embarrassing for this team. This team is, maybe
every year
it's not as good as people think. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But we'll see them next year. And shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. I said I didn't have nothing to say. Hold on. Shout out to the Philadelphia.
That NFC
trash.
East was ass.
All of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it proved. NFC East was not that great.
How do you want to fire the coach already? Though he went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, I think that's cap. I think that's cap. I think there's a problem in the locker room. Me and DA has spoken about this. Definitely a problem somewhere in that locker room. Don't know where. They're saying I've heard is coach and quarterback. Not 100% sure, but that's the word. That's the rumor on the street. So we'll see.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just saying.
No, go ahead, D. Go ahead.
Usually the D coordinator deals with the quarterback. You got a new D coordinator. All that broke down. So, like I said, you can't lose both of your damn coordinators and think you're going to be as good.
Yep.
That's just the math is not. As
Mike
would say, the math is not mathing.
Math is not mathing. Yeah.
Definitely a disconnect.
But good show, everybody. Appreciate everybody in the comments. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next week. See you Monday.
Yep. The angry one, what you got for us?
Appreciate you, Kev. You already got me. You don't want me to go on another night.
You know,
Yeah, you got traumatized.
Yeah,
I'm gonna behave. I'm trying to behave.
the man is shook.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, because
All that
Ryan, what you got for it? Because he be like, yo, you forget me again. It's gonna be me. Ryan, what you got?
I know
Ryan,
you
what you got, bro?
Nah, man. Always, man. I really appreciate what you guys are doing, man. Like I always say, this is not something easy to do, man. You guys are doing it. You guys are consistent. You guys are thorough. Shout out to your super producer. Junior, shout out to him as well. You guys are, just have a fantastic platform. Thank you for always extending that to me. And I really appreciate you guys, man. And have a good weekend.
Hey, Ryan, it's not you guys. It's us guys.
You're part of it.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Part of that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, because we
Appreciate
need
you.
somebody to talk about them NBA guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
I don't want to.
And I need you to get that logo. I need you to get that logo up in the back. Ryan, you gotta get that logo up in the background, man.
Yeah. Kevin gonna help me out with that, man. He gonna help me out.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. We're gonna get it right at the show, man.
Appreciate the love, fellas.
Thank you, Ryan, so much. Anytime I call Ryan comes through, man. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much, man. I don't have anything heavy. It's just great and a pleasure to come before you again. Thank you for all those in the comments. Thank you for all those on the YouTube, all those that have are listening on the podcasting side. Thank you. A couple announcements. Our show will be on next Wednesday because a couple of us will be in Podfest next weekend. At a conference there, getting some podcasting things and networking, and so we're gonna have a good time meeting other podcasters.
Where's that
at? In Orlando, man. It's in Orlando.
It's gonna be in Orlando?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Shoot.
Oh, okay, wait. Let me find out. We got to get you a whatchamacallit, man. Yeah, we can talk at the show, man. But man, yeah. So we'll be on next Wednesday, man, and we'll be in Orlando. Like I said, networking with other podcasters from different genres, man, and making it do what it do, man. So next Wednesday will be our standalone 90-minute show, which is not 90 minutes tonight. Fourth and short will be on Monday at 7:30, and so appreciate each and every one, man. And man, we're trying to grow this thing, man. If you love sports, you really love sports, man, tell somebody about the show, share the show, man. DM the show, man. Yo, shout out to those on TikTok, Instagram, man. You're liking the clips. Hey, come through and hang out for us on, those 90 minutes, and we're on the fourth and short on the Mondays, man. But I don't have anything else. I'm not gonna belabor the point, man. We're gonna get on out of here. I got a full show tonight, so I gotta say everybody's name. So I'm gonna start with, hey, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator, for Darryl D. Warren, for Dorian the DA Albright, for Dan the Hockey Dude, for Ryan DeSouza, our NBA insider and contributor, for James the Angry One, for Mike Mills, and did I forget anybody? Yes, our super producer, Junior, man. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be blessed, have an awesome weekend, man. And yo, we'll holler at you on Monday night for fourth and short when we talk about these divisional NFL playoffs. Y'all be good, be blessed. Peace.